contraindications, but there are multiple arguments that have been brought against it. Martyrdom operations. When a person presumes that he is going for sure die at a particular place at a particular time, he goes against the presumption that a particular is going to die in a particular situation. It's not, we don't have situation. One of the very misunderstood concept of what has been labeled as suicide bombing. It is martyrdom operations, and it is being known in Islam. There are multiple contraindications, but there are multiple arguments that have been brought against it. Martyrdom operations. When a person presumes that he is going for sure die at a particular place at a particular time, he goes against the presumption that a particular is going to die in a particular situation. It's not, we don't have situation.
So before carrying out that Red Fort suicide bombing, it is Umar-un-Nabi, the man responsible for the blast that took place in Red Fort. He recorded this chilling video. In this footage, he has spoken about the misunderstood concept of suicide bombing. He explains what it is often labeled as suicide bombing is actually martyrdom, as an operation known in Islam. He, of course, is claiming multiple arguments are being made against it as well. Akhil, my colleague, joining us in order to get us details. Akhil, a very important video that has now been accessed, and of course we're talking about what he's really talking about. When a person really knows the place and time that they're going to die, and this is something that is spoken about in Islam, and there are arguments against it. But he's talking about how this is something that is misunderstood as a concept. Suicide bombing is misunderstood.
Absolutely. If you see, this is a very distorted version of Islam, which basically at this point in time, if you see the terrorist Umar-un-Nabi is trying to preach to others as well, and he's saying that there's a specific time of death which has been allocated to you, and at that point in time you are going to die, and basically he has given his sermon in that regard as well. And if you see with a fake accent, this terrorist Umar basically is trying to preach others regarding the timeline of the death as well. And in this case, what we have also seen that if you see a fresh development in connection with the case, what we have seen that last evening the NIA team, the Central Counter-Terrorism Agency, which is the NIA, National Investigative Agency, has arrested one more person from Jammu and Kashmir. And if you see, this is the second arrest made by the NIA in connection with the case. And prior to that, what we have seen that on November 16, there was another person, the first arrest which was made by the NIA, which was of Amir Ali. So there are two arrests which has taken place back to back. And in this case, what we have also know that if you see, Amir was the one who was providing logistical support and procurement support to the main accused, the suicide bomber in this case, Umar-un-Nabi. And if you see, this very second person who was arrested last evening, Bilal was providing technical support to Umar-un-Nabi. So in this case, what we have been seeing that there are major developments that is coming right now. And if you see, right now we are at the various spot. This is one of the premises of Al-Falai University trustees home and as well as offices. So here you can see the ED officials have arrived over over here. Large number of security personnel have been deployed over here at this point in time, at this very location in Okhla area. This is the Tikona Park area of Okhla, near Batla House, and here you can see the visuals over here. Right now the ED raids are underway at the very premises which is linked to the officials and the senior trustees of Al-Falah University.
In this video, let's talk about this video, this recent video. For those tuning in at the moment, we have breaking news coming in of this latest video that has been released just before he carried out the blast that took place at the Red Fort area. He's explaining about what he says is often labeled as suicide bombing. That's actually a martyrdom operation which is known in Islam. He's talking about multiple arguments and contradictions that are being made against it, but he's talking people through how carrying out a suicide bombing, of when a person is expected to die, the time and place when that is decided. He is in fact speaking, in fact perhaps trying to reach out to more people to perhaps join in as far as their plotting and planning was concerned.
Well, if you see, Umar-un-Nabi has got a very radicalized mind, and if not only him, apart from him, if you see this very conspiracy, what we have seen, Dr. Muzammil's post, social media post, if you see, apart from that, if you see Dr. Shaheen's post as well. So there were several doctors which have been attached to this Jaish-e-Mohammed terror module, and in which case what we have seen that if you just go by the Jaish timeline in the recent past or in the previous incident, what we have been seeing that they have been preaching radicalized minds, not only to a certain class, but apart from that, if they specifically targets the youths. And in this case, what we have seen that one of the radicalized ones, which basically turned out to be a dreaded terrorist at this point in time, in which what we have seen that he has conducted and committed a heinous crime, in which what we have seen that Delhi terror incident took place, in which 15 people have lost their life and over 30 people have got badly injured. So right now they are being treated at the LNJP hospital. So in this case, if you just go by the visuals and the video, in which what we are seeing that he is basically trying to give everyone and especially to his audience as well that this is a distorted version of Islam regarding the jihad and the concept of death itself, because he is saying that if you see there's a specific time mentioned regarding the death and the suicide and the suicide bombing as well. So in that case, he is basically giving the preaching and someone to his followers as well.
Right, this doctor turned terrorist, of course, speaking in English, that too, trying to reach out to more and more people. The big question is, where was this video taken? And of course, also, who was this video really directed towards? Who was he really trying to reach out through that messaging? Akil.
A very misunderstood concept is concept of what has been labeled as suicide bombing. It is martyrdom operations, and it is being known in Islam. There are multiple contraindications, there are multiple arguments that have been brought against it. Martyrdom operations: when a person presumes that he is going for sure die at a particular place at a particular time, he goes against the presumption that a particular is going to die in a particular situation. It's not, we don't have situation. One of the